Good afternoon on what is a bright, cold and sunny day. It is Friday the 20th of January. I've got a nice hot cup of tea. And a parcel to unbox. So let's get to it. This has obviously come from the drive-through. You can tell from the glue in the packaging, as I keep saying. Let's get your finger in there. And what I have got is that. Let's find out what this is. Just slide this out. And this is Odious Uplands. This is a new release from the Hydra Cooperative, whom you may well know from Slumbering Ursine Sands and Fever Dreaming Marlinko, both hex crawls for the old school Renaissance, and very well highly regarded they are too. And also there's the scenario Depths Unfathomable, which I think is an absolutely fantastic scenario, where essentially low-level characters get to do a high-level dungeon, or essentially exploring the wake of someone having done a high-level dungeon, and it's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, so I'm surprised I've got this, but I'm really looking forward to digging into it. So let's have a look. Mystery-shrouded Stone Spear Province compels these of bold vision and appropriate levels of mastery to action. Go forth, my subjects, conquer or die for my glory. Sorcerer King Scientades. This wilderness realm, crushed for an aeon beneath towering glaciers until a sudden, unexplained thaw, now ranks high on the list of must-see destinations for travellers seeking the utmost in natural and supernatural vistas, loaded with treasures including mastodon ivory, fossils precious to collectors and scholars, and fabulous relics of extinct civilizations. The region attracts elite tourism and adventurers of every stripe. So, promises spectacular landmarks from Mount Impossible to the Fossil Forest. Accommodations from the humble to the princely. Eateries featuring the best wilderness chefs, delicious indigenous fauna, and woolly mammoth jerkies of uncanny subtlety. Helpful supernatural entities provide blessings, prophecies, and even custom tattoos for the righteous. Access to the underworld from points known and yet to be discovered. A host of unique monsters and treasures, personalities, encounters, mini-dungeons, and other challenges, all in Odious Uplands, a wilderness adventure for use with swords and wizardry and other excellent role-playing games. So this will work with swords and wizardry, which means it will work with a whole host of other retro clones. So, open up. So, just see what, oh yep, there we go. So, lovely image of a tusked boar of some creature of some kind, and have this weird, ungainly, strange territory to look out there, with a mastodon and a giant almost, and you're essentially herding it. It's just, that's really a fantastic image. I do like that. Full list of contents, so lots of information in there. You see how much this is, and this is actually probably the largest book that the Hydra Cooperative have put out to date. So, sorry, it's not Depths Unfathomable, it's Operation Unfathomable, but because Odious Uplands details the surface area far above Operation Unfathomable's environs. So this is a sequel to that scenario, but it's looking at the surface lands above it. So it's got a bit about Operation Unfathomable there, basically explaining its context. So you don't need the two together, but you know that there may be some back and forth between the two is necessary. Got general overview and notes, and then notes on the non-venturing in Upper Macedonia. So this is sort of like you're coming into a primordial wilderness, recently thawed, untouched by man or woman, as it were, except giants and those who can survive the frigid temperatures. So we've got adventure hooks and factions involved in the area that woolly Neanderthals and so on, science fungoids, extinct man-ape cultures, before we go on to the personalities of Fort Enterprise, which is obviously the starting point for the campaign setting, and here we have more of those NPCs. Current guests at Mount Crofax, Krieg, woolly Neanderthal ambassador, Kautos Plume, imperial overseer, utterly weird and wonderful, even down to the Shupla Pla, Slugman trader. Resident sorceress, etc. Sort of like the various dribs and drabs of the society at Fort Enterprise. And then we've got the environs. So we have actually been waiting quite a long time for this book. It's quite a while since I reviewed Operation Unfathomable. And you know, as far as I remember, Fort Enterprise, and I seem to remember sort of like a similar image in Operation Unfathomable, I think, as the starting point. So here we've got a map of Fort Enterprise. So in a way, this kind of takes the idea of a fort on the frontier to a further extent, to really make that frontier, you know, primordial in its you know, in its nature. You know, so we even have sort of like an attack by a giant ape-like creature there. So we have I'll turn over the page, and then we have monster alert. Coloco shows up in a rage. So he's even got a name. He is going to attack the fort. The player characters are going to have to defend it, and so on. That's going to be really fun, I think. You know, and that sort of like goes back to the film King Kong, that sort of thing. And when I think about other modules, I think it's great. It has that. This module has this in it, but I'm thinking the module that deserved to have that in it is X1 Isle of Dread, you know, and it doesn't. It's got this great wall separating the villages from, you know, from the rest of the island, but nothing comes in attacks, you know, it should happen. Anyway, so we've got individual locations within the fortress. So a wizard's dormitory, public baths, and a beer garden, docks and a ferry, and more. And then we have rumours, and then Fort Enterprise and Tent Town encounter tables. So you obviously fleshing out the player character's experience in the area. And then we have a map of the Odious Uplands. Right, there we go. And then we've got a basic breakdown of what's in that wilderness. You know, tables, descriptions of individual sites like the fossil sites. And then we get on to various areas of interest. Go along the western seashore, encounter this great beast as, hello. Sorry, getting a visit from the cat who is not ours. So let me just put that down. He'll settle in. Wants a warm lap, and I've definitely got a warm lap. But, so continuing on, we have the Purple Doom. So dome. Sorry. So you situally have an almost primordial Cthulhuid creature there to encounter. And the artwork in here is throughout is great. I really like the artwork. It fits the setting, and you get a lot of feel and character from it. Vansirian's Doorway, and there's an image of Vansirian himself. Oh no, that's Castelliogos. I don't know who he is, but he's a fantastic looking. You know, you don't know whether you want to meet him or not. So yeah, so I'll continue showing this to you whilst he's flapping his tail back and forth. Now he's settled down, and we have a party camp of barbarian princes, complete with barbarian, great images of barbarians in the true kind of Conan, the barbarian style, the heroes, and then we get into Ape Country. So yeah, this is absolutely, really impressed with the look of this book. The artwork is fantastic. I mean, it's done by Jason Schultes. Again, is the author, and I've got that correct, haven't I? Because I'm thinking about Operation Unfathomable, and he wrote and drew that, I believe. But yeah, he's not the only artist, but the primary one. So we even have, we've got a Dome of Contemplation, and occupants like a strangely bound Tyrannosaurus Rex or Predator, like similar to that, a crab forest, and then we're encountering more ape men, because it's ape country. Have an ant city, and here we have the Mammoth King. Place where you can find wormholes, and a mini dungeon, a menagerie facility of the man apes. A strange encounter with a cephalax. These monsters are really, there's a lot of imagination going into these. They're really kind of freaky and scary on their own. You're going to be encountering these all the time. Throughout this area, underworld incursion site and environments. You've got a mushroom men kingdom as well down there. We've got science fungoid surface incursion research facility. So it's not just in the underground, but also essentially on the overground. They've come up to conduct experiments and investigate the upper world. We have some of the technological items in play. Let's have a look. Observation station of the Bat-Bink Dwarves. And effects of chaos exposure, spidery, and that's one effect of a chaos. That's just, yeah. Again, you've just paged from the artwork is in here is fantastic, and then we have at the end here, I think, more artwork, maps. Just continuing with this information. A frost giant forest. We've got a mini dungeon, the grandest hovel. So yeah, it's primarily a wilderness adventure with mini locations, and this sort of echoes at the Hill Giant King's steading in module G1 a bit, but I mean it's not really sort of like, it's almost by and by, it's an aside. And then we have Stonepile Town, Woolly Neanderthal, Bastion, and then to the Fossil Forest. So what's we got? The Invisible, complete, So you see essentially, yes, you can see the doorway, but you can't see the actual building itself. And there it is, complete with guests. And then so basically we've got Glung's Arboreal Laboratory. The Hollow Bone. So this is a fantastic looking book. I mean, it's all black and white, but the artwork is really great. And then we've got appendices. We've got Macedonia, Upper Macedonia, a brief primer, Uplands creatures. Science fungi there, slugmen, lots of different adventures, and then your unusual equipment and treasures of the Uplands. So you've got several appendices in here, extra spells, and then new playable races and classes. And then, so you made it back to the surface, which is, basically here are some guidelines for consideration in the likely event that PC's completed Operation Unfathomable's mission. So that, essentially if they come back and they can start playing this campaign. And then they've got a player map there at the end. That is Odious Uplands. I think it's a fantastic campaign setting. You'll get so much play out of this. It's going to be so different in feel and tone, I think, to other campaigns. And a fantastic addition to Operation Unfathomable. So go check it out. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, do please click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And of course, if you want to see me here in the Nook, where if you want to be alerted to another unboxing in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a parcel containing a book or game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. In this instance with the cat who is not ours on my lap. Then please do hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching another unboxing of the Nook. I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.